Hello. All right. Hey, we're talking about adaptation series. Now, the adaptation series, all the odds are about the same, and then all the evens will be about the same. So, adaptation 1, 3, 5, they'll all be the same. And we're going to go through that right now. So, first off, I'm just adjusting here so I can see everything. Cool. We've got set 3 times 8 repetitions of a squat. Now, before that, you've warmed up and you've done the foundation series. We're going to go up into now finding a moderate weight. And moderate refers to, and it's different for everybody. So a weight that is moderate means it's heavy enough that you can do 8 repetitions where the 6, 7, and 8 are hard. You can do them with perfect form, but they're hard. So if it feels moderate, by the time you're done, it's time to go up in weight. And alternatively, if you get to number 6 and you have to set it down, it's too heavy. So the idea is that every couple of weeks, we increase the weights as we get stronger. Okay, so with that, 3 times 8 repetitions. Here we go. And we're going to move to a moderate weight. So grabbing those weights, we're going to have either at your front rack position at the shoulders, or if you have any discomfort in the lower back, maybe just keep them down by your side. So picking up those weights, we're coming up to squat, front rack position, feet hip width apart, toes facing forward. And I want you to just kind of screw those feet into the ground, squeezing those glutes and core tight. Descend at a nice pace and ascend back to the top. Do not forget to squeeze those glutes as you come down. Keep those elbows lifted and keep that belly button tight. If you're doing it by your side, same thing. Squeeze those shoulders back as we come down and up. I'll do it to face you, but we don't want to slouch forward. So squeeze those shoulders down and back as you suitcase those weights. Okay, those are two options for the squat. Then we're going to go right into some rounds with a light weight. So a light weight would be a weight that you can do a whole bunch of times and not feel like it's too hard or have to set it down. So 3 rounds, 8 repetitions per side. And I'm going to show you a couple options. Split squat. So if you only have a moderate weight, you don't have a light weight, you could just use one weight with 2 hands. So that split squat is to set up. I like to think of mat distance apart with those feet like a squat, but then just take a walking step forward. So now you're split. So one leg is forward, one leg is back, all 10 toes face forwards, and then descend and coming on back. So just pulsing up and down just like that. You've got 2 90-degree bends in those knees, so same thing. And then the other thing I see a lot is those shoulders rounding forward. So I want you to stay nice and tall, stacking your shoulders over those knees. That back knee, good, nice and controlled. Split squat. The other option is 2 weights, easy weights at your sides. I'll show that. So 2 easy weights at your sides, split stance, and I'll do the other side this time. And nice and tall. Again, stacking that front knee over the foot. All right, and then if you're not sure, you can always pull out a window or a mirror so you can see your form. Again, shoulder over that back knee. All right, so those are our split squats. Then we're going to go into lateral side lunge. So lateral just means to the side. So 1 weight option. I'll show you the 2 weights first. So lateral lunge, big step to the side, and lunge, reaching 1 leg on either side. Glance down, make sure your knee is over that foot, and then step back to center. Lunge and step. As I come to the other side, I'll show you my weight is way back in the hips and then back to the center. Okay, so again, weight way back in the hips, knee over the toe. All right, another common thing I see or problem I see is you come down and then you're here. Knee way over the toe, weight is not in your heel at all. So you want to come way back and up. All right, if you only have a heavier weight, you would do that with a goblet position up here, just nice and tall, big step to the side, coming down, weight way back, and then press it together. All right. Last of those is a reverse lunge. So same thing with our rack position. Nice and tall, elbows are tall, taking that big step back, and then all the way back up, stepping it back. Good. And make sure you do all on one side and then all on the other. The other option is just to suitcase those weights. So coming down, back up. You get the idea? And then finally, I get a lot of like, I can't do lunges or I struggle with balance. So if you struggle with balance, hold a wall as you're coming into that lunge, okay? To break it a little bit easier, you could come down to that lunge and just hold so you're not stepping, you're not adding the motion, okay? That isometric challenge is hard and you're not actively engaging or irritating those joints by adding the movement. So that's another option is an isometric. Try to hold 10 to 20 seconds at a time and then switch. And then always, if your knees are sore and you just cannot, no option there is working for you, you can always come down onto the ground, onto a glute bridge. So bridging up, right? So we're on the ground, feet down, and bridging up and down, focusing again on the glutes, hamstrings, and quadriceps, squeezing that core tight, okay? So that is the glute bridge. That is where you can have an alternate, especially if those knees are sore. All right, we're gonna take it into the last round for upper body. So we have 8 repetitions. Bent over rows will be first. We'll take it to push-ups, and I'll show you a couple options for making it easier. And then plank with shoulder tap. So I often also have a question about wrist issues, so I'll show you an alternate for that. First round, bent over rows. So finding yourself a set of moderate weights. Again, moderate meaning heavy enough so that you get to round 6, 7, and 8, and it feels challenging. You can get it done, but it's hard. All right, so for most of us, most people come into bent over rows with a little bit of, just come into lifting weights, having a little bit of back discomfort. So I'll give you 2 options for your legs. Regular option, if you have no back discomfort and you want the full challenge, keep those feet a little bit wider than hips. All right, send your weight way back into those heels. So, and keep a flat lower back, belly button is tight, and from here, hinging forward. So that's a hip hinge position, and we're gonna row and down, elbows right by the ribs, long neck, so you're not looking forward, you're looking down, okay? Bent over row. All right, now if you have any low back pain at all, then I want you to take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Not into a lunge, you're just splitting the legs. Hinge forward again, keeping the hips level, lower back is flat, and row. Same thing, elbows right by the ribs. Okay, so we have 8 of those. Next up, you're gonna go right into a push-up. We have a couple of options to make it, I'll start with easiest and go down to hardest. Easiest against a wall or a door. Hands at shoulder height. Good, and feet hip width apart. Tuck that tailbone, squeeze your belly button tight, and descend into that squeeze. Squeeze those elbows towards your ribs so you're not way up high, right? Think about middle fingers pointing up to the upper corners. Okay, so squeeze against the wall. All right, second effort after that, if that's too easy, is take it to a bench, something elevated. So right here I have a bench, hands on there, and feet, again, hip width apart, tuck that tailbone, and then slowly descend and back up. Pressing the chest towards the bench and back up. And if you feel like that's too easy, then you can make your way down towards the ground. You could start from the knees, which is fine as long as you're keeping that core engaged, all right? Starting from the side, again, I like middle fingers pointing to the upper corner of what would be your mat. From those knees, good. Squeeze that core tight, descend, and up. Okay, now here's where that's a significant difference. So I do have people, I will recommend coming all the way down and then pushing all the way back up to standard. Does that make sense? So if that's too hard or you can't come down very far, come all the way to your belly and then press all the way back up. Okay, so all the way to the belly, all the way back up. And then finally, regular push-up, hands still pointing to the corners. Good, elbows coming back towards your ribs, and then pressing down, pressing it right back up. Okay. That takes care of the push-up, so pick one that works for you. Again, if you have wrist issues, try the wall. Or for my wrist issue folks, grab a set of dumbbells that are moderate for you. and take it to a floor press. Now, I know I didn't recommend a floor press, but this is what to do in case your wrists really hurt. So down on the ground. All right, chest press. Again, thumbs pointing towards each other, elbows away from the ribs, and press it back up. Keeping your head on the ground, elbows tap the ground, press it right back up, and then done. Finally, we're going to come to a plank with a shoulder tap. So on that plank position, wide legs, keep those hips stable so they're not dancing around. Strong core, tap the shoulder. Strong core, tap the shoulder. Strong core, tap. All right, so there's no need to like rush through it. It's more about not allowing your hips to move around side to side. If that's too hard, take it to the knees. All right, again, tap, tap. Good. And if you have wrist issues, I'd recommend you do a hollow hold position instead. So no wrist on the ground, lower back pushing into the ground, belly button tight, and reaching overhead. If your neck hurts, just hold your head. All right, so that is our set. Good luck. Have a lot of fun. Bye.